to a episode here of the Halos in the Infield. I don't have no fancy intro. We had some have some technical difficulties that made me want to throw some shit through the wall. So I apologize if I don't have the glitz and glamour I usually do. The studio, I mean, I have some sophisticated equipment and it has been acting like you would not believe. So I promise you that hopefully everything will be all right moving forward. I'm just going to get the chat in here for when we want to go live. Don't know if I'm going to get anyone in here. We'll see right now. There's Dan Rios, a few others. I'll get the I guess the live and everything else going on. It's your chance. I'm going to read the comments. It's going to be like a post game show. You see what I'm having to deal with tonight. It's been one of those nights for me, man. I've had a real problem getting shit together here. So I'm hoping that everybody can just hang in there with me and make sure I'm having to do this from my phone. Again, I'm in a studio that should be working, but my studio is haunted and it says "fuck you," and it's been the most frustrating night. So hang in there with me, and I'm gonna get into my takes. I got a few bullet points I want to get into, and it's basically the Otani. My reaction, if you think about it, shock initially. It started with Toronto. If you would have told me that Toronto was the team that he was going to go to, I would have been like, okay, that's fine. You know, Toronto it is. Good luck, Otani. Best of luck. Beat the shit out of the Yankees. Beat the shit out of the Red Sox. All right, you know. And I'll cheer you when you come here. And that's it, you know. Because Otani, if you think about it, Shohei Otani has been this guy who has basically lived a perfect baseball life. Now, we don't know what he does behind closed doors, but as a human being to the fans, to the organization, to Major League Baseball in itself, he's been nothing but a perfect person. He's been someone that's been there just through and through, doing the best for his organization when his organization didn't do shit for him. And it's one of those things where you sit back and you say, there's really nothing you can say or do to mock the guy. You know, he's this forever good person. So what I think the Angels fans are going through right now, and myself, is now that he chose to go to the team that he went to, the Devils team, do we hate this guy? I mean, think about how the Dodgers over the last 5-6 years have taken over Anaheim Stadium. Now that Ohtani's here, the people that can't get tickets at Dodger Stadium, because just face it, Dodger Stadium, the tickets are going to go through the roof. Now they're going to come to Anaheim Stadium. So this is going to be one of those things where, look, it's going to be hard to see this guy. It's going to be hard to see your Angels at times. It's going to be maybe hard to watch your Angels at times. And we've been through a lot of bad baseball. And here's the thing. And we'll get to I'm gonna get to all the comments. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna read all the comments. We're gonna get into everything. Let me just get it out with my opening rant. 2 years ago, if you want to go on this page, because all our lives are there, all the shows are there, go back 2 years ago on the trade deadline. I'm quoted several times in saying, this is what the Angels need to do. Trade Ohtani now. Rip the Band-Aid off and get as much for him as you possibly can. Because let's face it, Artie's never going to sell, and this team is going to go completely down the toilet. And I got a video coming about Artie Moreno and just all the shit that he's done, the bad owner that he is, and we'll get into all that. But you can go back 2 years and find out and see the exact takes that I gave, saying that this dude should be traded. You can get a third team involved. You can get about 7 to 8 prospects back and reload the team. And I said that last season, when the Angels were trying to go for it and get these players, it just didn't work. And I drank the Kool-Aid last year. I said, hey, you know what? Maybe this is going to work. Maybe the Angels are going to get into the playoffs and convince him. All we got to do is get to the playoffs. Couldn't do it. And Shohei Ohtani, for lack of better words, is a very smart man. He's not stupid. If me and you and everybody else can find out the behind-the-scenes things and the way that they've treated their players over the years, the way this organization is notoriously cheap since it's been bought by Disney, you know that Shohei Ohtani has his finger on the pulse. And yes, it may be true that Shohei loved it here in Anaheim. Maybe he loved the fact that the weather was great, the people were great, the pressure was not there. But in the end, he's 29 years old. He wants to win. And unlike our fearless leader, Mike Trout, which now you have the Halo honks showcasing on their page saying, oh, honor goes to Mike Trout, loyalty, all this. Okay, that's fine. That's great. Where's the dog in Mike Trout? Where is the I got to play through pain? Where is the I've got to be the best player and attract the best players? See, you could do that for Team USA, but you can't do that for the Angels. His work ethic has been called into question the last 3 years. The training staff on this team has helped players to get injured more than they've helped them to stay healthy and helped them to stay fit. It's been noted, look it up. If you don't want to take my word, it's been there. Mike Trout's not that leader. Never was, never will be. Shohei Ohtani showed that dog, but because of his language gap, even though he talks English, he doesn't feel like he can be the leader. And we'll talk about the pros and cons for him going to the Dodgers. Oh, believe me, I will. But you look at it right now, and the rebuild should have been done. Instead, you let him walk away. And some people, some stupid honks, Gubazah, which I love, but he's put himself in there with Trent Rush and Roger Lodge. Hey, we get that compensatory pick. The fuck does that do? You could have had 7 or 8. You could have. Dude, Tampa Bay was offering 5 players at this year's deadline. We didn't take it. Oh, no, he's going to stay. Perry Manassian. There's a reason why Artie Moreno stayed away all year. There's a reason why he didn't show up. There's a reason why he's an asshole. There's a reason why Shohei Ohtani went dark and didn't talk to anybody. And that yet still Halo honks believed that there was an opportunity for this guy to resign. He was good as gone before this, right when Artie Moreno said he's signing back, when he's not going anywhere. Unfinished business. That's when this entire shit went down the drain. If you guys watch any of the post games, you would have seen all year I was talking about that. All year it was like, hey, you got to trade him or we're going to get nothing for him. A couple things happened up until the point of him getting and signing with the Dodgers, and it makes me sick to even say that word. I'd rather talk about Satan. But you think about it. Toronto rumors, like we said, it would have been okay. He goes. Go to the AL East. We only face him twice a year. There's no in-state rivalry. There's no regional rivalry. We don't have to worry about the trash talk, the shit talk at work, at school, wherever you go. No. But when Soto signed with the Yankees, I'm like, oh, shit. And then when Toronto was just rumors, I had a sinking feeling, dude. There was no Giants in play. There was no Mariners in play. He was going to go to the LA Dodgers. And the attention-seeking whores that the Dodgers are, this is what they need. This is the straw that will break baseball's back. And real quick hot take by yours truly, I see them winning like 115 games this year and not making the World Series. Why? Because Freddie Freeman won't hit. Mookie Betts won't hit. Shohei Ohtani will. Now, he hasn't been clutch with the Angels. You want to know why? My daughter's obsessed with him. She watches every video. How many game-winning home runs does homeboy have? Game-winning hits? Not too many. Not too many. Not anything that you could write home to mom about. But that will change with the Dodgers. Because unlike those freaks that fall apart and hit below 200 come postseason, something tells me you can't pitch around him if he were to get to the postseason. And that's where he will elevate the Dodgers. But the World Series trophies, which the Dodgers still don't have one since '88 because no one gives a fuck about ring pop, it will come, unfortunately for all of us, in 2 to 3 years. Why? When he's pitching again, who's going to stop him? With Walker Buehler, I hate to say it. That's one Dodger I would love to have on the Angels. Walker Buehler. Stud! But you have Angel fans also saying, well, what about Shohei's injuries? Now that he's gone, right? He did everything he possibly could for the Angels. Everything. But there is some truth to that. A UCL, first year, Tommy John. Second time this year, Tommy John won't pitch next year. Hit a shit ton of home runs. The difference between what he's done in the last 2 years for the Angels, 44 home runs, 92 RBIs. I think it was 50 home runs or something a year before and 100 or right at 100 or something. That's pathetic. Why is that pathetic, you say, Todd? Because a guy who hits 44 home runs, a guy who hits 50 home runs should have 120 to 130 RBIs. But none of the jackasses, because Marcus Thames, Paul Sorrento, and the rest of the bullshit analytics assholes that work for the Angels don't know how to run an organization, don't know the value of walks, hits, and just getting on fucking base, making contact. So his numbers could have been way more inflated and got better results here in Anaheim. But he's going to get that production and those guys on base and the opportunity, because I don't think the Dodgers are that stupid to bat Shohei second. If they're smart, they'd go Freeman second, Ohtani third, Betts fourth, or Betts third and Ohtani fourth. And then you have a murderous row right there. You could fit in Lux, and the Dodgers are a stacked fucking team. The problem I have, too, with baseball is NFL, some people hate the whole thing of, well, you can't have guaranteed contracts. Guys can't get paid what they're really, once they get to year 6 or 7. Well, that's okay. It's a put up or shut up league. Every team has to spend a certain amount, else you can't compete, or else you get fined. And they do have a salary cap that you go over, it goes against next year's. So there wouldn't be no outrageous Yankees, no outrageous Dodgers. In the NFL, and we could have cut Rendon 3 years ago. $10 million. Who cares? Because he ain't worth it. My point being this, the Dodgers are going to spend whatever they did. Because the worst thing that happened, if you're an Angel fan and you hate the Dodgers, you're a Giant fan, you hate the Dodgers, no matter who you are and you hate the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman, who came from Tampa and made chicken out of chicken shit in Tampa, came to the Dodgers with an open fucking wallet, basically saying, blank checks galore, do whatever you want, make us a winner. And I hate saying it, but all year I was having to sing their praise. You look at the Angels, investigated for treating their minor leaguers like shit. People dying on freaking Artie Moreno's watch. Selling drugs. All this bullshit over the years. Bad contracts. Instead of getting Garrett Cole, he's like, next best available player, like fantasy football. Ruins the organization getting Rendon. The Pujols saga. Everything that has gone on since dumbass has owned this team. And then you look at the Dodgers, you've got to be envious. Friedman's made their minor league system the best. They spend the most on scouting. They spend the most on player development and international scouting. They do things right, and I hate saying it. And yes, their beer is $20 for a tall can. Yes, they have to pay like now $40 for parking. But you know what? People will go because they consistently win. And yes, we can make fun of them because they don't win titles. But guess what? That's in jeopardy of changing. I'm not saying it's a done deal, but I'm saying there's a good chance the Dodgers could be winning a World Series in the next 2 years. I don't think it's this year because they still got Dave fucking Roberts holding them back. But when you look at that organization compared to us, we're not even in the same planet. And you go back in time and you're like, well, it's always been like that. No. Disney had a mediocre payroll. Facts. But what they spent on player development, what they spent on the organization from the inside, pales into comparison to what they do now. How they treated their players and their staff pales into comparison of what they do. How they drafted back then. You wouldn't have had your Erstad, your Gloss, your Salmons, your so on and so on, Weavers. All those players came in-house. In-house. Angels weren't a team that had to go out there. They didn't start making free agent pushes until Farty took over. And when Farty took over, they made good choices because they still had Disney employees in place. That's where you got your Vladimir Guerreros, Bartolo Colons, Jose Guillens, Kelvin Escobar, so on and so on, until the Flames started to go out because he started to go cheap and everyone started to get cut and thrown to the wayside. We are going to be forever fourth place. The time is now to show dumbass Artie our frustration. Some may say, what's the best tactic to take? Is it don't show up? Is it bring signs to the stadium? Chanting the whole nine? It might be a combination of three. When big market teams come, sell your tickets. Don't go. When the Detroits of the world come, when the Oaklands of the world come, maybe bring your sign. I don't know. It's up to you. But it will make a difference. It will be seen. This franchise isn't going to be moved, but we can show our displeasure. The time is now to buy shirts. Not from us. If you don't want to, make your own. Show your fucking displeasure. This franchise is going on a decade now. You think Mike Trout is going to resurrect this team and resurrect his career now? No. Do you think that there could have been pieces put together to make this team much better? Hell yeah. You think the young core is ready to go? I don't know. Thames did his very fucking best to try to ruin Logan, Ohapi, Shanawell, and all the other guys. You think Rendon's going to play more than 81 games this year? I don't. I already have a friend that's betting me $50 he plays under. So what do we do now? I don't know. It's sad because I don't have the answers. Because I think it comes down to an individual basis. And will the masses become a mass and start to threaten not going, boycotting games? A lot of people are mad at this. This team is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We had a deal, or the city of Irvine, you know where those hangars were for the blimps? They wanted to sell that to Artie, 7 years ago? He turned them down. So he ain't going to move the team. Long Beach is not a viable option. They can't put a big enough stadium right there. Even if they were to tear down that whole area, Shoreline Village, they're not going to move. It's impossible. The best spot is that spot in Irvine. And now that one of the historic hangars accidentally burnt down, maybe it's going to be viable again, but that's just moving them to Irvine. So we're not talking about a team moving to Vegas, moving out of state. The Angels aren't going anywhere. It just matters if Artie's going to do something. But here's the thing with the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are going to absolutely obliterate us when it comes to fandom. They think they're the Lakers, even though they haven't been relevant like the Lakers. And they think we're the Clippers, even though we haven't been as bad as the Clippers. Now, you can go back and say, oh, you guys didn't win a lot, blah, 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 and you had failures. Yeah, Did the Clippers have failures in the playoffs? No, they never got there. Angels had a run through the late 70s and early 80s, mid 80s, and then they fell off again. And they got hot in 2002, won the World Series. Did the Clippers win a ring? No. Then they went on and had a good 4 to 5 year stretch of making the playoffs to 2010, came back in 14, haven't done nothing since. The point being, you can't push us as the Clippers. Are we the redheaded stepchild? Yep. We sure are. It don't matter what we do in this market, the Dodgers will always be superior. Claiming LA doesn't mean you're LA. We're Anaheim. We're Orange County. Facts. Artie's worst move was to poke the bear, which was the Dodgers fandom and the city of Los Angeles. And every time they had to, again, LA announcers don't consider us LA. I don't either. I want to be Anaheim again. I want to claim the whole state like the Texas Rangers. I want to be the California Angels. Will it happen? No. It won't happen under Artie's watch. Just read Joe Madden's book. He'll tell you why. So, what they had to offer Ohtani. And yeah, a lot of money is being deferred. And yes, he could take less because $60 million a year comes in just on advertisements that we know of. And what's going to happen to Angel Stadium? Think about it. We had Bandai Namco. We had like Japanese Airlines. We had that kitty litter. The face cream. There's so many advertisements. It's going to be gone. That alone should have poked the bear that is Artie Moreno to get off his drunken stupor and offer a real contract. If anybody thought that he was going to offer a real contract, it's just so they're Halo honks like Roger Lodge. Roger Lodge believes that they were going to throw 580 at the unicorn, but the unicorn took the Dodgers. I can't wait. Listen, I fucking hate Roger Lodge, but I can't wait to hear the spin that comes from his dumbass forehead about why it's a good thing Ohtani's gone. If you told me Ohtani being gone because we made a trade and we got a buttload of prospects back between two teams 2 years ago like I asked for, then yes, it's a great day. It's turn the page. Thank you, Ohtani. Even if he went to the Dodgers, we would have got a hella return. That's fine. And if you don't get two teams involved, you get one team involved, you get 3 or 4 good prospects and a ready player, whatever. Fine. We have something to at least grasp onto and say, this is part 2 of the Ohtani venture. This is what we're going to get out of him. This is what we spun it as. And we're going to move on, and we're either going to succeed with these guys or we're going to fail. Who do we look to with Ohtani gone? Where does the organization go to? Am I missing something? Is there rich prospects out there that we could trade for? Oh, no. We gave those away when we traded for rentals for 3 weeks and then promptly released them so we could save money at the goddamn luxury tax of this year. So we don't have to pay the tax. We release the players just in the nick of time. Making salary dumps with Stassi and Fletcher to further get the payroll down. So then where's this rich free agent crop that we're just going to pluck from? Oh, because we have so much money now that we're going to just pluck here and pluck there and get a player here and just fill them in and be great like that. Because you have to have faith in Perry Manassian. Listen, I'm sure Perry Manassian's a nice guy. I'm sure he's already done a few good things. But you think for a minute that he's got anywhere control of any of these decisions to actually make this team better the way he wants to? I don't believe this is his plan. It's Artie. Artie makes the moves. At some point, somebody told this asshole the inner workings about how baseball works and how you can make money and how you want to avoid spending too much money. And he's put that to heart. He's worked it. And guess what? Guess what? He's perfected. I mean, look, if you want to talk about a great owner in marketing and making a lot of money for himself, he's a great owner. But when it comes to winning and actually making a franchise good, he's just as good as a Pittsburgh Pirates owner. Because at least the Pittsburgh Pirates owner had a little good stretch there with McCutchen and Garrett Cole and a few other players, and they were able to get consistently to the postseason for a few years before they fell off. But you can't say that he's a winner in any state or fashion or whatever. He's not a winner, dude. He'll never be a winner. It is so sad for me as an Angel fan, I'm pretty sure for you too, to now look at what we got going on next year. And if you haven't seen it yet, take a look at next year's promotions. 2 more Mike Trout bobbleheads. And a Logan O'Hoppe. Ooh, we actually have somebody else other than Ohtani. Wonder why. He was never going to be there. Never going to be there. Artie's reign of terror. Artie's reign of terror. He has pushed this team farther down the toilet, flushing it. But in some ways, you can flush the turd down the toilet, and somehow his toilet regurgitates money back into his pocket. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I will tell you this in all honesty, and this is not me just being mad. This is me telling you from a fan's perspective, from people on the inside. He has the biggest fucking ego, bigger than those Irvine hangers. He is so upset with me and you and everybody else that has called him names, that thinks he's a shit owner because he is. And for all the bullshit that he's done and will have to answer for, well, maybe not because he's got good lawyers, he cares about what we think. Why do you think parking went from $10 forever to $20? And you would say, oh, you're bitching, Todd. The Dodgers pay $40. What's your problem? Just pay $10 more. It's inflation. Biden Anonymous. It's the orange man bad thing. $10. Who cares? It's inflation. It's California. Dude, it started with that. Unfinished business. It started with that. Did you notice throughout the stadium food went up a certain percentage on everything? Did you see the fact that he didn't give a shit? That he was going to milk the cow that was Ohtani one more year. And he did. And he's still going like this to me and you on the daily. He doesn't give a shit. Do you realize that this bastard spent less than $250 million total for this team from Disney? If with all the bad decisions Disney has made over the years, movie-wise, however you want to view it, they could have recouped so much money had they held on to the Angels just 2 more years. They were saying, oh, we're losing $10 million a year. Bitch, Disney, you're losing $100 million on a movie. That's just one bad movie. If you would have just sucked it up for 2 years, the TV rights, the internet rights, all the copyrights, all that fucking money that Artie makes. That's why this franchise is valued at $2.5 billion. That's why this franchise could have sold for 3.5. But Artie said, unfinished business. I want to make more money. I want to be like Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. He wanted to be like DuckTales jumping into a pile of money. That's what he wanted to do. And he can do that if he wants to. He's not worth $3.5 billion right now. He's probably worth about 1, close to 2. But you add another 3.5 to his wallet. How much is too much? How much is enough? I mean, literally, if you want to win, And I had this discussion with some friends the other day. In football, and I'll go back to football again, you don't have too many have-nots in football. If you have have-nots, it's because they have quarterback injuries or they have a stupid organization. I'm sad to say it. A lot of you guys are Raider fans. Raider fans don't have the smartest organization. Some teams are just perennial losers, but you're forced to spend the same amount of money or close to it every year. And you have the draft that helps you out every year. You have the fact that if you lose, you get good and you don't stay bad, and the competitive balance is there. And you don't have these super teams like you had in the 90s, like the 49ers and Cowboys, who could just throw money at the wall and see what sticks and keep all their players every year. So there's a lot of free agency. Some people like that, some people don't. I like the fact that you can cut players when they don't provide you the value that you're supposed to be paying them for. Anthony Rendon would not survive 1 year in fucking football. But in baseball, he can say, no habla español, no habla inglés. I've been cleared to play, but no, my imaginary doctor says I have a broken leg. I'm not going to play. Pay me. And we're like, okay. And we pay him. Major League Baseball, they're freaking what's that called? Their organization takes care of their players. Is just ridiculously good. And they've got the contracts, they've got it sucks. And it's gonna be something now. Where are we gonna go as a team? I can't see us getting above Seattle. Jerry DiPoto's turned that team around. With Artie Moreno can keep the salary right where the top teams are, right below the damn threshold. Who cares? The team's not going to win nothing. And then what's the running joke you've heard for a decade? Oh, don't worry about playing baseball at Angel Stadium. We're going to have Angels, we're going to have monster trucks at the end of the year. It's going to continue. Every day I drive by Anaheim Stadium. There's something he's rented out that stadium for. So not only is he making money on the Angels hand over fist, he's making money on whoever plays or pays to check out the stadium. A lot of you guys are saying MVP candidate number 6. I'm frustrated. There is no Ohtani is going to be easily your MVP. Think about this real quick too. What's left on the Angels and what's going to happen with the Dodgers? Dodgers are going to make a World Series run. I'm making a hot take. I don't think they're going to win it. I think next year when he comes back and starts pitching, then him and Buehler are going to be unstoppable. And that they could go on a good 4 to 5 year run. Ohtani basically has 4 to 5 years of being a two-way player. That's it. And that's not to say an injury could take him out, knock on wood, again. And there you go. And they're going to be paying some of the most high-priced money for a player that's going to be sitting on, the bench or whatever. The Angels now, and let me finish off Ohtani. Ohtani is going to be an MVP because it's the Dodgers. They're going to want a big name guy, just like you saw the whole bullshit with was it 99 over there in New York? I'm blanking on his fucking name right now. See, I think my bad. With Aaron Judge is. We all know that was the most phony MVP ever. So see that next year he'll get, all the votes. Who's going to beat him in the National League? First off, and he's going to be one hell of a player for the Dodgers, and we're going to hear about it all year. And it's sad. I mean, we had him for 6 years. But you think about it, he gave us what? 2.5 good ones? So there could be, fuck. It could be, sorry. It could be the same thing with the Dodgers. They only get maybe 2 or 3 good years out of him. Who knows? Um, Again, my equipment sucks tonight, so I apologize. I'm going off my phone. I would be taking phone calls right now because I would love to hear the venting, and the system took a shit. So again, hopefully soon the system will be up and running, and we'll be able to take phone calls. What's next for the Angels? We got Ohapi. We got new coaches. I would have loved to have Ron Washington coach Shohei Ohtani, but that's not going to happen. I do believe in Ron Washington. I do believe in some of the coaches he's put in place, and I hope that he gets back to a game plan of staying away from analytics. But I have a feeling that the analytics will be pushed by either Perry or the higher ups. And as long as we have a shitty ownership consisting of Artie Moreno and you have John Carpino and a bunch of these other shitheads in charge that are going to push the narrative on how they want to play baseball, we're never going to win. And, it's sad because you look at Jerry Dipoto, and a lot of us said, oh, what a punk ass for leaving Jerry Dipoto. He got into an argument with Mike Scioscia. And what should have happened is Mike Scioscia should have been fired. Analytics passed him by. And I'm not saying that Jerry Dipoto lives by the analytics up there, but I'm going to say this. The proof's in the pudding. He's turned that Seattle franchise around. And it took him a few years, but he did some things that were not kosher to some baseball fans, kind of pissed Mariner fans off a bit, mortgaging the future a couple times. But he's built that sucker around. And like I said, I trust Ron Washington, but if you don't have the people backing you, you could be the greatest manager slash coach around, and you're not going to win. So I'm hoping for the best for Ron. I'm hoping for the best for the organization because, again, as much as I've talked shit about the Angels, they've given me very good reasons, many reasons to do so. And it's not something that I want to do. I want to be not Halo honkish, but I want to go into these games and cover them and say, hey, you know what? We had a great series with the Astros. We beat them 3 out of 4. Tough place to play, Houston. But the Angels came up big because the pitching was good. They had some timely hitting, some clutch at bats, working some walks. The bullpen came through. I would love to be positive. I would love to be positive. How can you be when a team doesn't value hitting or walking? But we'll see what happens with that. When you're letting go of players you just inherited via trade, you mortgage some of your future to, and some people, oh, you just gave away 2 players here, 2 players there. Those are 2 players we don't know. That the White Sox are probably getting their catcher of the future. They're getting a number 3, maybe a number 2 in Bush for the future. We gave those away. We're not stacked like a lot of these teams to just be giving away players left and right like it's willy-nilly and be okay with it. I don't know about you guys. I don't like losing. I don't like being mediocre. And we're both. And now it's now transitioned into irrelevance. And if we don't spark something, if there's not a Josh Hader move, Corbin Burns move, a Yamamoto move, if there's not something that and to me, I don't even need flashy. I don't want flashy anymore. All I want to know is that we have someone playing capable ball at the corners, in the outfield, that we have a team that can pitch, that can compete. That's all I want. I want to compete. I want to go into a series knowing that, hey, we have a chance to beat these guys. I don't want to go into it and be like, man, we were lucky if we win 1 out of 3. That song and dance has been playing in my head the last 3 years. Ever since we started this goddamn channel and started the podcast and everything that went with Instagram and the Angels page, this team hasn't given us anything for our efforts. And I grew up in the 80s, man, and the 90s. and watching some pretty bad baseball, mostly in the 90s. And there was reasons why they sucked, and they weren't on these levels, and I could stomach it back then. I can't stomach it anymore. I want to see change. Give me something to cheer for. If Ron can get these guys just competitive to where they're just looking outside the wild card, hell, I'd take that at this point. A lot of you say, oh, it's playoffs. We want playoffs. We want to break that streak. I do too. I do too. But I'm kind of tired of seeing a hot April, a fall off May, an irrelevant June, a hopeless July, a rebuilding August, and a let's get ready for next year September. That's been the playlist. Be honest. That's been the playlist. I'm ready to see a good April followed by a good May. Keep it going June. Oh my God, we're in it still in July. We have a chance in August and a September fight for our lives. I'd be okay with that. Just keep it, but it's hard now because you look at the Dodgers, and despite what I'll just say this as I'm closing this out. The baseball gods don't like what they're doing with the playoff system, and they keep trying to fuck the wild card team, and it doesn't work. You give these teams like the Dodgers and Braves extra time off, it seems to fuck them. The only team that could handle it was Houston, because Houston stuck with a game plan and went old school baseball. And I loved it. They should have just left the playoff thing alone. No buys, none of that bullshit. Just let them play. Let them play the rounds, the seeding. Let them play. But you keep fucking with it, and it hurts the teams that win. But my point being is the Dodgers are already, they're saying, oh, what about that parade that's already scheduled? No, what they should be celebrating or scheduling is the parade for the Dodgers to clinch that division. It's going to happen. And you can say, oh, well, what happened with the Padres and the Diamondbacks the last 2 years? Did they win the division? No, they didn't. They upset whoever they did, which was the Dodgers in the postseason. Giants won all those World Series to the wild card. That's great. It can happen. And it's happened a lot to the Dodgers. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is a for sure thing. But winning that division for the Dodgers is, I doubt anyone's going to give them any shit this year. Padres falling back, Giants or whatever, Rockies are the Rockies. So, and the Diamondbacks, that could have just been a one flash in the pan year. So my point being is this. Dodgers will make the playoffs. Shohei Ohtani's already punched his ticket to the postseason. He already has. Hasn't even thrown a pitch. Won't throw a pitch to 2025. Hasn't even swung a bat. Hasn't been to their Arizona facility for spring training, pitchers and catchers. He hasn't even put on the jersey at the press conference yet. He's already punched his ticket to the postseason. But not in a red uniform. He's done it in a Dodger uniform. He's got 700 million reasons to do it. Highest paid athlete of all time. Soccer players are envious. And soccer players play like all fucking year. And he's making $700 million, man. Wow. As a kid, I never thought we would get to this point. Sterling says, at least we have Benji. No, Benji is in San Diego. He left for San Diego. He got the hell out of Dodge. He is a good guy, too. It's going to be a crapshoot for anyone that makes the postseason because MLB screwed it over. But you just got to get to the tournament. And that's the sad thing. But you look at the Dodgers are going to have an easy way there. The Angels, not so much. You got the World Series champion, which is hard for me to say in 1 year. The World Series champion, Texas Rangers in our division. You got the Houston Astros perennial winner. And then you got the freaking Seattle Mariners, dude. So, I'm sorry, Demetrio, for riling you up, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And the last thing I know going in that you had for a time being this year an opportunity for four teams out of the AL East to make the postseason. Until the Mariners started getting hot and Houston started playing like Houston, you basically had Boston alive, Toronto, Baltimore, and the Yankees for the postseason. Then the Yankees fell off, the Red Sox fell off. Then it became a two-team race. And Tampa Bay, I think, was there too. So you had three teams. I don't think there's going to be four teams coming out of the AL West. You're going to look at maybe, I don't know, three teams, two teams tops. So Seattle may not make it. Houston may take a step back. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Angels silence scares me. It does. And that might be the revenge of us talking shit about one Artie Moreno. I told you his ego is outrageously huge. Maybe an in-season tournament with $50,000. By the way, that is the dumbest shit ever. I mean, if you're a Laker fan, look, I'm not a basketball fan anymore. I stopped watching basketball 5 years ago, but I followed from afar, just as far as like what's going on. And this in-season tournament is the dumbest shit ever. Oh my God! If baseball ever gets there, I'm done. I'm done. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be tough. I wish I can get to all these comments because there's a shit ton of comments that you guys punched in, and I really appreciate that. Boycott the team. I didn't get tickets. Jacob says a lot of people saying hi. Michael says I think the Dodgers should be renamed the Jobbers. Yeah, I mean, look. It says he also says Toddfox needs the decaf. Don't pop a vessel, my friend. Yeah, you know what? Again, this team. I'll just tell you real quick. And I'll get to Big 20 because Big 20's been done. I've been trying to get stuff out of Big 20 for a while. He's got some information. Miguel says Artie is gonna spend money on Snell and Bellinger. Um, yeah, I did read yours, Big 20. If you're gonna get laid, just tell me if you've already got laid, because if you haven't been on this page before, he's been flirting with that and letting us know. I haven't been asking him, and it hasn't been my thing. He's been flirting with letting us know about his escapades. So you might as well just write it in the comments. But getting back to it real quick, I don't know where the Angels go from here, like free agent wise, what they're going to look at, because they're looking to give Adele the full time job. A lot of people don't like that. You got Rendon at third for 20 games. So the realistic thing would be for me to get Urshela back at a low price, as low as you can get it, because he was producing a lot, getting on base. Mike Moustakas the same. He struck out a little bit more than I like, but I think with a better hitting coach, he'll bring that down a little bit. But he provides leadership, so you can put him in there to bat when at third base when Rendon's hurt or when they're facing a righty, and then you could throw Urshela in there at first base when Shanawell needs a night off against a lefty. So there's all kinds of stuff that you could do. So I mean that's just on the cheap. But whether they get any of these big free agent guys, I don't know. Big 20 says, did I get married? Not yet. We postponed it a little bit as far as because we didn't find the venue. We had a lot of shit going on, but I will let you know, my friend. And then also his 18th birthday, he might smash. I don't know why he hasn't already, dude. Like, you got all that surfing contest wins going on. You should be able to knock one out, literally. But hey, touche, man. Make that first one the best one, right? So we got a softball tournament coming up on February 17th. We're going to have teams and have you register on there. If you like playing baseball, softball, whatever, it's going to be fun. We're going to have food again. We didn't do it last year, but this year it's going to be on Saturday. So if any of you guys are available and want to play, we're going to put it out there, and we're going to do a live draft. So you'll see your name on the board on which team you go to. That's going to be fun. It'll be a tournament of 4 teams. So if you got some play, if you want to bring some ringers or any of your friends along, fuck it, let's do it. And that'll be February 17th, so keep that in mind. We're going to be doing some off-season Angels baseball stuff, so keep that in mind. And we're still working with Noble and 714 Tickets. So if you guys need tickets to anything, 714 Tickets, mention Heedy, and you get your 10% discount on tickets. Plus, you get a buyback. So they give you a few dollars towards a future purchase. You go over to Noble L Works right across the street from the pond of Anaheim, where the Ducks play, whatever they call it now, Honda Center. You go over there and you get 15% off of drinks just by mentioning Heedy, Hiti. So there you go. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming on for the off season. A lot of we're gonna go daily shows once the season comes up. So again, frustrating season, and we're gonna give you our frustrating takes. So yeah, we'll be there. Softball will be free. That'll be donation if you want to be, if you want to pitch in anything, but it'll be free and it'll be on teams. We're gonna have drinks, food, everything's gonna be cool. So there you go. For more baseball stuff, continue to spread the word. We want to get this shit popping this year, and we would have gotten it popping had we had a winning season, which we can't seem to have. Michael says, how did Artie get out of the charges from former Anaheim mayor? Well, he threw everything upon the mayor, and he played stupid. So, Michael, he has good lawyers, and he's not a dumbass. We hate him baseball wise, but in the game of life, he's a winner. And as an advertiser, he's a winner. And he got himself out of some deep shit. He got himself out of some deep shit when it came to the fentanyl and all the other stuff that was being peddled inside the stadium. He distanced himself from a lot of stuff, and he's going to probably get out of all the other charges that are coming because he's got some lawsuits, civil lawsuits with Skaggs family. So he's going to continue to be spewing his rhetoric and continuing the reign of terror. The ballpark, as far as Big 20 keeps asking where the ballpark's going to be, it's going to be either in Irvine or Anaheim, Fountain Valley area. We're trying to narrow down fields to have two fields back to back. So if we have the two fields back to back, we're finding parks. If you know of a park or if you have a hookup with someone that could hook us up, that'd be great. But we're trying to get a park to where we don't have to pay $1,000 freaking insurance thing. Because believe it or not, if you have a big event like that, you have to pay close to $1,000 for goddamn insurance. It's pretty stupid. But those be them rules. So we're trying to work something out to get everyone there playing for a good price, which is free. And if we could do that, the insurance thing won't be the issue. So it'll be tacos, and pupusas for everybody. I got a friend that likes to cater that stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to close it out tonight. I ranted enough. I wish I had my equipment ready, but it's going to have to be a few more days moving forward after this. And, hopefully we'll have everything in there and we'll have a better live. It won't be off my phone. It won't be falling. Michael, real quick, says, looking forward to the Artie discussion. It's like you said, the media didn't go after him like Frank McCourt. Exactly. And that's part of it, dude. And here's the one quick thing. Midapi says World Series, so no World Series. Nope, no World Series. Book it. You book Ohtani in the World Series maybe in a couple of years. But no World Series. Last thing about Artie, and this is just a hot take. Take it for what it is, but I think you could do your research. MLB does not have too much minority as far as owners. And if the Angels, you can look at the other sports. The Clippers got their owner removed because of racist comments, right? White guy, gone. Okay, that's fine. He deserved it. Daniel Snyder didn't like some of the shit that he did. Some of the shit doesn't touch what Artie did. However, he was ousted, right? No problem. And there's been a few other owners that have been ousted. No problem. But when it comes to Artie Moreno, one thing that he has on his side that none of those other guys do, and that is that he's a minority. And that's just the facts. And what a bad look it would be if the Angels, Artie Moreno, would be removed as an owner being a minority. And that's just a sad truth. It's not even about who you are and how you perform your job or perform as an owner. it comes down to always politics or race. And some guys have been removed for their politics. Some guys have been removed. So Artie's going nowhere. You could book that too. He's going nowhere but to Vegas and to a strip club and to get himself some more Jack Daniels. And he's going to slobber everywhere. That's the thing that you can guarantee. So he's safe, and we're screwed. So it's going to be another rough year, and I applaud each and every last one of the Angel fans, including yourselves, that get on here and support us or support the Angels in general, because no matter what, we love the Angels. I wouldn't give two shits and would not be doing a nightly podcast / post game if I did not care about the Angels. Even if I was performing for one person, I love this team, and it hurts me to see them suck. And it hurts me to pay money to go, believe me, and watch them suck and throw their future away and not give a shit. But until the only thing that is keeping me going, and I'll be straight with every last one of you, and I know I said I was going to get off a bunch of times, is the fact that when the day comes, no matter how long it takes, and they win, how sweet that will be. Because as a Seahawk fan, when they finally won in 14, euphoric after sucking for so long. And as an Angel fan, when they finally won in 02, it was euphoric. Words can't explain how happy and proud I was to be a baseball fan. And in 2003, when they weren't close to the playoffs, and even when they were eliminated, and even when there was a whole fresh crop of teams in the postseason for 03, I was still telling everybody we're the champions until dethroned. That was a great feeling. I want that again. Even if it's just for a division. I want to be like, yeah, motherfucker, we're the 2024 AL West champions. Yeah, but you're not going to win this year. I don't care. We're 18 games out with 2 games to play. But right now, we're the reigning motherfucking champs. I want that again. But just doesn't feel like a reality. So we're going to face reality as fans. Move forward and see what happens. And Big 20, Seahawks aren't going to make the playoffs. They've been playing like shit this year. A true fallback. But hey, that's football. They have a better chance of turning it around next year than the Angels do. That's unfortunate. Good night, everybody.